This is Ed.
And this is Christina.
And welcome to the Let's Cook project.
Part of Kitchen Socials.
So what do we do before we start cooking?
First things first is following the 6 golden steps.
So the first one is tie back your long hair.
Remove any loose fitting jewelry.
Roll up your sleeves or just wear short ones.
Wash your hands.
Put on a clean apron.
And finally, ensure that your food prep area and equipment are clean and ready to go.
So what are we cooking today?
Squidgy chocolate pear cake.
Cool. So what ingredients are we using?
So we have 75 grams of applesauce, 75 milliliters of oil, 200 milliliters of milk, 400 grams of tin pears in juice, 75 grams of sugar, 175 grams of self-raising flour, 1 teaspoon of bicarbonate soda, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, and finally 44 grams of cocoa powder.
All right, so we'll start by mashing the tin pears.
Okay.
Don't have them in syrup because that's very sugary. We don't need that extra
That's right.
sugar. Cool, so we're gonna start by mashing the tin pears.
Whilst you get on with that, I'm gonna preheat the oven. Did you know that you could use apples, tinned apples that is, you could use some frozen pears with that? Really, I'd just say experiment, to be honest.
I think this is mashed enough, right?
Yeah, that works.
Cool. So now we're gonna do the wet ingredients. So this is the applesauce.
That's correct.
Putting it in. And this is kind of like our egg because it binds the whole thing together.
I'm gonna add you some oil.
Cool. By the way, if you don't have any apple puree at home, you can just mash up a banana. Use it
All
as a
of it.
substitute.
I think a key thing is to remember to pre-measure everything because baking is a science. So, I'm gonna pass you the milk.
Coconut milk. So that's all done.
Okay.
We're gonna put it to the side and get on with our dry ingredients.
No problem. So, first things first is, here's some flour.
Self-raising, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Nicely done. Next up, I'll see some cinnamon. You can also use vanilla, some ginger as well. So
Yeah, whatever
alternative.
flavoring you like.
That's right. Here's some cocoa powder.
What's great about this recipe is the fact that, you know, these are all stored ingredients, like you can store them, they're not fresh, no dairy,
And then
really simple and easy.
some sugar. The best thing about cocoa powder is, and it's important to know, don't use chocolate powder. That's really sugary and it may change the way that it tastes. And then finally, some bicarb.
By chocolate powder, do you mean hot chocolate?
Yeah, hot chocolate powder.
All right. Once I mix it, I'm gonna put a well in the middle. Do you want to put the pear, the mashed pear, into the
Okay. I'll
mixture?
Put that all in there. Yeah. Arm strength in there. Inside the middle, right?
Yeah.
It's like a volcano almost. There we go.
Okay. Now we're gonna fold it all in. A minute of soda does.
So what the bicarb serves for, it just literally makes it like a really nice science experiment. It just makes the cake go once it's in the oven. Yep.
As soon as it touches the wet ingredients,
That's right.
sort of inflates. I'm done here. So now we're gonna get our baking tin, and we've got this rectangular bit of grease paper and we want it round. So we're folding again,
That's
we're
right.
folding once more. And then to get it round, you put this in the center and then sort of cut over here. Think it's in the center.
Hold that in place for you.
So now when you unfold it, you get sample. All right, So you put that in there, pour it in.
That looks fun.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Smack. Ooh. So it's like a bit more even.
And now we're gonna put the cake into the oven for about 40 minutes at 180 degrees.
And while that's in the oven, we're going to get on with our spicy bean burgers.
Yep, so whilst we have our cake over in the oven, we're gonna get down to it. So, would you like to run me through the ingredients?
Cool, we've got kidney beans, very full of protein, but you can use any other kind of bean. We've got flour, we've got cumin, carrot, garlic, onion, tomatoes, burger buns, ketchup, and mayonnaise.
What's first?
The kidney beans. We're gonna cover them in water, boil them for 10 minutes so that they're nice and soft when we mold them into burgers. So first you're gonna finely dice an onion.
I'll get to that. I would appreciate if you could help me out with the carrot.
Sure.
Thank you. So guys, remember, bridge, what we're gonna do here is just with the tip of the knife, just go in, but don't cut to the bottom. Just make some fingers. Almost make the knife a bit of a lever. And just put it down. Especially when we're fine chopping. Claw position. I'm just gonna get at it.
Always remember, as soon as it gets close to your fingers, just put it in the chuck it bucket.
I'll just grab the garlic.
I was actually gonna jump, I thought you put that on me.
Base. Get that in there. Skim off. So you just leave that. I'm gonna finish up with the garlic, and then we'll move on to the next part.
All right.
It's all right, guys. Slow and steady does it. Boom. So now we're done with all of that. I'm gonna put this onto your board,
Cool.
and I'll grab the beans.
Cool. So we've drained that. Now we're gonna add it in
We're gonna gently.
gently.
Whoa. I've really broken the machine, haven't I?
Okay, I'm gonna take over because you're just messy.
I'd say I'm artistic.
Cool. So now we are going to add in all the other ingredients.
Into the mix.
Okay, we need to add the cumin.
Okay.
This is a great meat substitute, honestly.
Now I'm gonna pass you the flour.
So I'm just gonna get stuck in with my hands, start sort of shaping it.
One nice piece of equipment kit is a clean pair of hands. Now we're just gonna really mush it in, give it a good squeeze, and really get in there.
Now we're gonna flour our board. So now we want to half this, split it into two.
There we go. And I'll get to work on it.
Okay.
Here we are.
All right, there we go.
There we go. I'm just gonna make 4 nicely shaped balls. Now we're gonna squish these balls into a burger shape. Squish.
We're going to put them in the fridge to let them sort of firm up for about 10 minutes, and then we are going to fry them.
What's the next step?
So you put the cold oil into the cold pan to avoid splattering.
That's correct. A tablespoon, huh?
Yep.
Yes. Seen it a bit more.
Okay.
There.
You're perfecting your frying skills.
That's right, I'm excited.
You've got one at 12, one at 3.
One at 6, one at 9.
So while those are frying, I'm gonna go get the cake out of the oven.
Sweet.
And we're putting it on the cooling rack for about 20 minutes. If you don't like tomatoes in your burger, you can just replace it with whatever you do like.
I like gherkin.
Gherkins.
Yep. So I'll just give these one final flip.
Do you remember what we learned the other day?
About the meat-free facts. Yes, I do.
If everyone went meat-free for just one day a week, we would
Save one animal,
40 pounds of grain
1,100 gallons of water.
and 30 square feet of forest.
That's a lot of numbers.
A lot. Just by going meat-free for one day. You can add any kind of sauce that you want. Burger sauce.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the gazunder, I'm gonna gently release the first burger.
Smart it?
Yes, please. It's all part of the process.
Yay, that's our first burger.
My name's James from the Let's Cook Project, and today we're going to talk about spoons, not just for playing, but actually a really useful thing in the kitchen. Really useful for measuring, really useful particularly when you're baking, but today we're going to talk about how they're really useful when it comes to preparing fruit and veg. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how you can peel. Peeling sometimes is a bit dodgy, it's a bit dangerous, you can possibly cut yourself. There are really very few teaspoon-related peeling accidents, so you can rest assured that this is quite safe. Take your ginger, take your teaspoon, and use the side of the teaspoon, and you're going to peel, and because it's a teaspoon, it's perfectly okay to peel towards yourself, and simply take that skin off the ginger. Now, useful tip, you don't always want to spend loads of time peeling your ginger. So buy it in a big root, peel it, chop it up into recipe sized pieces, stick it in the freezer, grate it from frozen. Bish, bash, done. So that's teaspoon for peeling. Sometimes if you're cooking a chili dish or something like that, like with it uses ginger, you might use one of these, which is a chili. Now, the thing inside a chili is there are a lot of seeds, okay? And it's the seeds and the membrane inside your chili that hold the heat. And if you're not careful, you can end up with slightly tingly fingers. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our teaspoon, and we're going to use our fork, and we're going to stick our fork into the end of our half of chili, and we're going to scrape the inside of this chili out using our teaspoon. And then once we've done that, we can go back and chop it up with our knife. Done. So stab with a fork, use a teaspoon, scrape it out. Of course, if you like your food spicy, you don't even need to do this, you can leave your seeds in. But if you do get chili fingers, all you do, get some lemon, rub them on your fingers, it'll take away the chili. So these avocados, make sure they're ripe by just giving them a gentle squeeze on the fat part of their bottom. Make sure that there's a little bit of softness there. You might need to get an adult to help you with this. Using a bridge, you're going to slice into your avocado all the way around. And then you're going to give it a twist and take out your two, so you've got your two halves. This bit here, some people will get a knife and go poof, but But the risk with that is you miss. So all you do is you get your friend the spoon and pop him out like that. What we're going to do is we're going to take our cutlery knife and we are going to go from the top to the bottom. And because we're using a cutlery knife, we can do this in the palm of our hand. And then we take our spoon again under where we've just sliced, all the way round, pop him out on the board, and you've got avocado slices. All done. Last but not least, we've got these little hairy nuggets, which are kiwi fruit. And kiwi fruit, we use our friend the teaspoon, and if you look on your kiwi fruit, you've got the brown furry skin and then you've got the green flesh. We don't want the furry skin. So what we do is we get our teaspoon and you're going to scoop all round inside between the skin and the fruit, like so. And you'll have a little bit on the top, so just get your cutlery knife, pop him off. There's your kiwi fruit all done. And that is how we use our spoons.
So now we're gonna cut the cake and serve it. So it's cooled down now.
That's nicely done.
That is so yummy. So now we're gonna cut it into healthy portion sizes.
Not too much.
Not too much.
That's perfect. Got myself a spoon. A dollop, some Greek yogurt. Nice. Look at that presentation.
Okay, so now we're going to put a couple berries on.
We've had our burgers. They were some lovely burgers.
Yeah.
We had to make some more just to show you guys. Before we tuck into our delicious slices of cake, it's important that we
Thank you for watching. We hope you've learned something. Thank you for watching us over these past 6 recipes. Here's yours.
thank you.
Here's mine. Okay, 3, 2, 1. That is really good.
Result. See you soon.
Do I need to say my bit? Okay.
And mash these.
He's violent. Get all the stuff at the bottom as well. Can you check if I have Ed?
Yeah, you've got a clean bottom.